So, you got my money?
Welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. What a great Friday it is. The weather's been so beautiful. Football's back. Had a great NFL game yesterday. College first week was fantastic. And we're ready to do it all over again. Right, Sammy Stats? I cannot wait.
I can't wait. I mean, it's like Christmas every weekend.
Yeah, that's what, like last weekend I was just like, oh my God, this was so fantastic. And now this weekend, we pretty much have that times two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like even better. It's like Christmas and New Year's. It's awesome. The fact that we get an NFL game like we did last night, and then just knowing that we have a full slate for the first week of, the season coming up here Sunday. You got your fantasy leagues going. You got your bets going. I mean, it's just what a weekend to be alive.
Yeah, these are the weekends for us as sports bettors. I mean, we live for. So that's why if you've been watching the show, you've seen like all summer where we were just like, yeah, I don't know, Mariners -1.5. I don't fucking care. I just got to feel something.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now you're like meticulously like, okay, I got this. Yeah. No, I love it. I can't wait. And another thing I can't wait for to do this weekend as well is use the Underdog Fantasy app.
That's right.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's been so fun using that. I'm so glad we got a partnership with them. And let me tell you about the easiest way to get some action on fantasy sports. It's Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite players' stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry. Get every pick right and take home some cold, hard cash. Use the code 10K and get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. Once again, that's code 10K on the Underdog app or at UnderdogFantasy.com to get your first deposit doubled today. Fantastic news. And they got even a better thing. It's they boosted Shadur Sanders. Right now they got it in the pick'em 2.5 touchdowns, higher or lower. And normally it's, I think, 2 guys in a pick'em, you win double. And they boost it, so if you put him in the pick'em, you win 4 times your money.
Yeah.
So take Shadur Sanders, higher or lower. It's going to be a tough game. We'll get into the Colorado-Nebraska game a little bit, but pick higher or lower him, and then pick maybe a guy you're rooting for. I'm sure they'll have a Kalakamanakis line on there for you, higher or lower. Take the Eastern Michigan guy lower if you don't want him to do well.
Yeah.
Go over there and win some money today. Underdog Fantasy. Use code 10K. And double your deposit up to $100 today.
It's football season. If you haven't done it, I really don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, it's a no-brainer. I mean, and I'm going to say,
I
haven't cleaned Underdog's bank out quite yet, but I'm working on it.
It's coming.
Like I said, that when we first got their partnership with them, big mistake, Underdog.
Mm-hmm.
You guys would be broke.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened yet. Turns out they kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun,
They got an idea of what they're doing.
Yeah.
But
exactly. Another organization that knows what they're doing is the NFL. Mm-hmm. When I saw this line +7 when they first came out with this Lions-Chiefs game at 7, I ran.
Yeah.
And took Lions +7. I ran. And we both did.
So fat. Yeah. I mean, this one, for the most part, I want to say like 90% of games, which is just a very rough estimate, but 7 points is too many in the NFL. It just is. Like, I feel like every spread should be like 3. When I saw +7 here, I couldn't put enough money fast enough. I mean, it was I don't know why did they do that? I mean, we say it now, like after the game, but I just thought in no way, shape, or form in any world that we live in that the Chiefs win this game by more than 7 points. I'm very glad I ended up on the Lions side. Yeah, you could say we got some help from the drop passes all night, it seemed like. Whenever they needed a big play for the Chiefs, the guys dropped dropped the ball. I mean, it was crazy, but that is NFL. That is football. I was very happy to be on that side. I even teased it with the under, which was great because it was just really never in jeopardy.
I even asked you. You're my over under guru.
Yeah,
I'm like, you need to let me know when this under's.
Do not worry, do not worry. And really, it was never in jeopardy. I mean, there was 41 points, and it like kind of barely got to that number. Like it was a kind of a slow game, a lot of punts. And what did you have? 53, 50? Yeah, you were fine.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and I think this is actually one that Vegas ended up getting wrong. So I think they opened up with such a big line because they knew people would run to the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And so they wanted to get money on that Lions side. And then I think their initial thought would be, as this game gets closer, shrink it. And then that's where the money shrink it down to like 5, and then that's where the money for KC is going to come in.
Right.
And it never really happened because everyone had so much confidence in both teams. It didn't really matter the line. It seemed like everyone was either Chiefs are going to blow them out or the Lions are going to somehow win this game. And like I said, that line never really moved. It kind of just stayed at that 7. I think it went up actually like 7.5 at one point.
Yeah.
So people love the Chiefs and they're good. And then I did the same thing. I actually got lucky. I bet them money line too the day before the Kelsey news came out.
Oh yeah.
Just a little more than a heavy sprinkle.
Yeah.
I put on there, and it was a fantastic choice. And even towards the end of the game, I even said to myself, I'm fine if I just win the spread. That's fine.
I mean, I had the money line too, but at the point in time where they went up 21-20 and then got the ball back and had to punt, I said, okay, this is Mahomes. This is Butker. This is a game-winning field goal for Kansas City. Whatever. Fine. Yeah. I'll take my teaser. I'll take my +7. No problem. I'll easily make that switch just because the money line obviously paid for the Lions, but it wasn't anywhere near what I'd be winning with the spread and the teaser. So I just totally was like, fine, whatever, go down, kick the field goal. And then it was just a huge bonus that the Chiefs had 2 massive drops on that last drive. I think one by Sky Moore and the other by Kadarius Toney. And then all of a sudden they're like 4th and 25. And I was just like, okay, like this game's pretty much over. You just go and cover 5 or whatever. And
which, and I don't know if that was the right move, but I was actually thinking, I'm like, if I was the Chiefs, I maybe would have just punted.
They had
all 3 timeouts. Yeah. If you pressure them at their end of the field, if you stop them 3 and out, you're hitting the ball probably like the 50-40 yard line. You got Patrick Mahomes. If you got 30 seconds left, you're down 1 point, and you got the best kick, or probably the second best kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, one of the top 3 kickers. I know. I was a little surprised by that too, especially because it is football. You know that the Lions are going to run all 3 plays.
Yeah,
guys fumble like that. Like people like running backs fumble the football. Like so. I would have definitely, I mean, in hindsight now, but I would have definitely punted that off. And then at worst, you stop them, they punt, and you have, you do probably have to go 30 so yards to get into field goal range, but at least you have that chance. Then, I mean, if you don't convert this 4th and 25, like the game is over. It's definitely over. So,
I think it was them I think they kind of knew they weren't going to win either. I don't know. The whole second half, even the whole game, the Chiefs just kind of seemed like off, and they did play off. But I don't know. Great win for us. Fantastic. Sorry, Cam. I know Cam had the Chiefs.
I know.
He had to listen to you and Josie's roars.
In the
chats all night. And I loved it.
The bummer with Cam's bet was he bet it thinking that Kelsey was going to play, which I can understand why he made that bet. Like if Kelsey's in the game, like it probably is a lot, it's a different game. Kelsey has 10 catches and 100 and whatever yards, maybe a couple of touchdowns, like completely different game. But he didn't play. So he was pretty much screwed from the get-go. And I still thought like his line was decent, especially at halftime. They're up a touchdown. Then they get the ball again. Chiefs started get the ball at half. So it's like this could easily be a 14-point game, and then you're not sweating as much. So obviously, in my position, I wasn't feeling great, but after that pick six, man, I felt very good. So yeah,
which makes me nervous. The Lions, dude, they look good. I mean,
yeah, they do.
I wouldn't even say good. They're a dangerous team. They don't seem like a team that has it all together.
Yeah.
But they're a team that can make something happen.
But for a week one performance, when teams pretty much like just get better throughout the year, they fix some stuff. For week one, I was a little surprised. I mean, I knew they were going to be decent, but their defense was terrific.
Unbelievable. What's his nuts? Aiden Hutchinson's. He's unbelievable.
The Lion Den. I mean, wow. Yeah, I know. I don't love that they're in the North, but
no. And we can kind of move right into the North. We'll talk about the Vikings game this Sunday, kind of preview that. Line set at 5.5. We're favored against Tampa Bay. Total set at 46, which I think is kind of low.
Yeah.
But I'm having I'm going to take the Vikings minus 5.5. I'm going to do it. It's kind of a homer pick, but I also do if I was gun to the head, had to play this game, I'd probably play the same thing. I mean, you got Vikings who are going to have an electric offense against a pretty good Tampa Bay defense. And then you've got a Tampa Bay offense that's not so good going against a Vikings defense that's probably not so good.
Yeah. This one I circled exactly for those reasons. I am staying far away from the spread here. I would love to take the Vikings, but I think the last I saw was at 6. I don't love that line, especially with how many one-score games the Vikings won last year. Of course, I'm not going to bet against the Vikings, but I am going to take the over 45. I got it in at 45 a couple of days ago. I would still play it at 46. I think the Vikings will be able to score a lot. They'll be able to move the football. And then I also think that defense just will probably let up some points too. I know the Bucs offense isn't that great, but I just think we'll be seeing more than 45 points here. It's almost I really do enjoy it. If you're looking at a teaser, I would almost tease the Bucs at plus 12 and then the over 39. But just for a regular play, I like the Vikings over 45, and I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to see Addison and see this offense go. Obviously, they'll be mixing in a ton of balls to Jettas, as well as Hawkinson, and then also to see how our ground game is with Madison. This will be it'll be a fun offense. I'm really looking forward to it, obviously, but I like that over 45.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, like I said, I'm kind of in the same position as you. I could see this being a big spot where Baker puts up about 320 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick.
Yep.
And I don't know, I just see them scoring at least 21 to 28 points, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And I see us scoring somewhere between about 24, 31 or higher. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I'm with you on the over 100%. And like I said, I'll probably take Vikings minus 5.5 just because I'm a loser homer fan. But
well, I really don't blame you there with the expectations our offense has going into the season. I don't blame you there. I would like to see a game or maybe 2 before I mess with any 6.5, 7-point spreads, especially in the NFL. This isn't college, right? So I'm just sticking with that over 45 just to see, kind of how it all goes the first couple of weeks. But again, who knows? Maybe I have some drinks and throw on the mic.
Yeah.
But for now, it's
live bet it in the first.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Maybe a live bet. Maybe the Bucs start with a touchdown and I can get the Vikings at -3, something like that.
Yeah. No, it'll be fun. It's just nice to see him play. It's going to be a big spot for him. I think this game's going to be big it'll be playing a big part to next week against Philly on Thursday.
Mhm.
Because if we can get 1-0 and then go to Philly with 1-0, I think they'll be a little more like, we're 1-0. If we drop this game to Philly, probably the best team in the NFC. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
But if you drop this one, you're 0-1, they're going to have a lot of pressure on themselves. Like, we can't start this fucking season 0-2. We're fucked.
No.
Especially after watching the Lions
Yeah.
just be the defending Super Bowl champions the way they did with pretty much great defense.
Yeah.
Some pretty electric plays on offense. Like, turns out they might be for real, and we haven't even seen. I think the Packers are fucking garbage. I think they're dead.
Yeah.
But you haven't even seen the Bears yet, which everyone's kind of starting to hype up the Bears a little. Like with Justin, this is his like year where he's like figures it out, he breaks out, and he's got a couple of targets now. So
right. Yeah, no, it'll be a fun one. But again, we absolutely need that first win because I think there's close to no chance we go into Philly and win that football game. I just don't see it happening. So yeah, this is a big week one.
Yeah, absolutely. And some other big week one games I'm personally eyeing. The ones I've got on my card, I've got San Francisco -2.5 at Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I have Jacksonville -4.5 at Indy. Sorry, boss man. Carolina +3.5 at Atlanta.
Yep.
I'm going to take Chicago. It's Chicago -1.5 versus Green Bay.
Yep.
And then this one, I haven't decided really quite yet, but I'm leaning Buffalo -2.5 at New York. I don't think the Jets are going to be that good.
Okay.
But I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of writing off you're not really hearing much hype about the Bills.
No, the Bills are still the Bills.
Yeah, they're going to be great.
Yeah, they're always great. I mean,
and the New York Jets have a shit ton of like really, really young guys with a lot of talent.
Yeah.
With Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm with you on those. I think the three I'm going to be playing, and again with week one, I don't go crazy on it just because I don't know a lot. I like to see some of these teams, but the 4 plays I will have, I'll have that Vikings over. I'm going to play the Patriots +4 in Foxborough against the Eagles. I think this is a game. There's a ton of money on the Eagles per usual. I think the Pats defense is going to show up. I think they're going to be able to keep it close. So I like that +4 with the Patriots. I'm also going to take the Saints -2.5 at home. And I'm going to take the Bengals -2.5. I believe they might be on the road. But I know Joey B just signed a huge super max or whatever extension. The Bengals are a fantastic football team. They're one of my picks to win it all this year. So those are just my early leans plays. I'll definitely tweet out my official one before Sunday. But again, I mean, it's going to take, everything in my body to not bet every game. But like, I just need to see these teams kind of play at least a game, maybe 2, just to kind of see what we're working with here. But yeah, those are the early kind of leans.
Yeah. And it kind of depends on how the morning or like the noon slate goes. Like,
right.
That's how I do it too. It's like, okay, if I get a couple under my belt, like, okay, like this one I was kind of feeling not so good about. Got a little extra cash to play with. Let's do it. Let's try to make a little bit more. And then another thing that goes into betting on Sunday is rewinding betting on Saturday.
Right.
Let's not forget about college football so quickly. Packed again, huge slate of college football. Like I said, I'm just so excited. I can't even keep it all straight. But for Minnesota fans, the Gophers, they're -20.5 against Eastern Michigan now. That's a big number. And if Cam and Mike and the other Minnesota Gopher suckers would be here, they're taking that 20.5. I'm not.
Could not be us because I'm just not gonna play any Minnesota Gopher games for at least 3 weeks. I just didn't see a whole lot to cheer about week one.
No.
I don't have much faith in covering that number. So yeah, no, you won't find me betting on that team. One way. I'm not going to fade them, but I'm not going to bet on them.
No, I don't. I'm not saying they don't cover that number, and I'm not saying they're not going to win win by a big margin. I'm saying, I don't know if it's going to be 20.5.
Right. No, I mean, that's a lot. I'm not gonna take that cheese. I'm just not interested in the game. The fun thing about college is there's 400 games, right? So, find the 5 or 6 you really like. There's no reason to throw some coin on the hometown team or whatever if, really doesn't add up per se. I just don't want any part of it. I'm not going to do it. I found 5 games that I really like that I'd much rather put my money on than the Minnesota game. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. And we can kind of move into one of those games. It's kind of I've been telling everyone, it's kind of the spread heard around the world this week is that Colorado-Nebraska game.
Oh,
after Nebraska's, I'm a Nebraska guy. They played like shit. So did Minnesota. It was a horrible game. Colorado, probably the biggest story, arguably in sports last week with Dion, and that win over TCU. And then that spread comes out at them only favored by 3 over Nebraska at home in Colorado. Everyone's kind of freaking out. Everyone's saying it's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap. And I keep hearing people like reverse psychology of reverse psychology. Like they're like, it's a trap, but they want you to think it's a trap. So I'm going to take it because it's not actually a trap. It's like, what are you talking about? Just
no, I could see how people say that. There's this is a Plum's 3-unit whale. This is Nebraska plus 3.5. It's my biggest bet. And
I gotta get my sunglasses. Text me next time we do the same. We say, don't forget the glasses. When everyone says Plums, I just gotta zing.
Yeah.
I have
no,
to.
This is the line makes no sense. I'm not taking Colorado. This is the ultimate letdown spot for Colorado. It's Nebraska. The play is Nebraska. It may not win. It may not hit, but the play was Nebraska. You cannot tell me the play is ever Colorado in this situation. With how great of a week 1, how great that offense looked, I'm just not buying it. They want you to bet Colorado. It's gonna be so sweet when Nebraska wins this football game. Nebraska plus 3.5. I think it might be down to 3 if you can buy that half. I would recommend it. This is Nebraska. I cannot emphasize. This is Nebraska plus 3.5. 100%. I'd play it 100 times out of 100. Nebraska plus 3.5. Don't take the cheese. It's Nebraska.
That's what like there's a book when you play blackjack. If there was a book for sports betting, like you just said, it's Nebraska.
This is page 1 of that book, all in bold letters. This is what it is. It's Nebraska. I didn't even think Nebraska looked good at all, which is why this line does not add up in any world.
No.
It's Nebraska. It just is. I don't know what else to say. Plum's 3-unit whale. It's Nebraska. I can live with Nebraska losing. I cannot live with betting on Colorado in this spot.
Yeah.
Nebraska winning. I just can't.
Yeah, it screams, and like everyone's sucking Deion Sanders' dick, his son's dick, the Travis Hunter who played the whole fucking game. Everyone's on their dicks. And it's like, but no one's talking like maybe TCU just isn't that good. Yes, they were in the national championship game last year.
TCU's awful.
Yeah. And it's like, but even last year, everyone was saying they were frauds. Like, yeah, they were in like, they just kind of like, they have a really electric offense. They just put up points and somehow got there. It's like, they lost that biggest part in Max Duggan. And now it's like, maybe he's not that good. And then you got TCU's going up against Deion Sanders in such a pumped up game. It's like, and it's not like they blew him out of the water. No, it's not like they pumped. It's not like they pumped their asses and they won by like 30. No, I mean, it was a close game. They barely won. So it's like, and Nebraska, they're not good. But again, they got a new team, new quarterback, new coaches. Their first game. They come to Minnesota. It was just last week was such a weird game, the Nebraska-Minnesota game. I think Nebraska's going to learn some stuff. I think Colorado is going to be a little bit high on their horse. I'm with you 100%. And I wish the line was a little bigger actually, because I'd love to bet the money line and take but like right now the value is just not there. Like it's at like
it's
124 right now, so it's like
it's not. Oh, that's not good at all.
no, you might as well take them at
just
minus
take the points at
101 and take your 3 points and let her rip.
Yep. No, I'm glad we're on that same page. I'm just not buying into it. I just again I wouldn't live with myself if I bet on Colorado in this spot and lost and lost money there. So I can live with losing money on Nebraska in this position, but I really enjoy this play. Play of the week. It's play of the year for me, really. Up to this point, I love the Cornhuskers. So yep, that's a good one to start on. A lot of my other plays I'm playing this week are only 1 unit. This one was 3 unit. So what else you got? What's the next?
The other big one, kind of the big game in the week for the big dogs, Texas, Alabama. Mm-hmm. Alabama's 7.5 point favorites. Pretty big number. With a total at 53.5. I'm leaning Texas with the points. I'm gonna bet Texas money line just because the value's there. It's at like +2 something right now. And they're a good team. Texas might be back. Quinn Ewers is really good. He'll play for the Vikings someday. I keep telling everyone he will. Big spot for Alabama. I think the Alabama Nick Saban days are slowly on the decline. And just for me, the value is too good not to bet the money line. And then, like I said, but when I bet that, I almost have to bet Texas +7.5.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be on Texas this game, and I'm going to take the over 53.5. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Big game in the week.
Yeah.
I think it'll be exciting.
A fun one. It's definitely going to be a fun one. Obviously, it's the best game on the slate. For me, I took a slightly different approach. I didn't want to mess around with any of those lines full game. So I just took Alabama first half -3. It was at 3 a couple of days ago. That's where I took it. I'm hoping maybe it's like 17-14 at half. Alabama's up. And then in your case, Texas just runs away in the second half, wins the game. I just really like Alabama just for that first half. Their first half covers are fantastic the last 2 years, just covering that line in the first half. So I'm just going to stick with it. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. It's made me a lot of money. So I'm just going with that first half -3, just a 1 unit play, nothing crazy. But I did not want to mess around with that full game, especially with that hook, that 7.5 hook there. Being such a big football number at 7, I just didn't really like that. And I think if you wanted to buy it down to 7, it was like -135 or -140. Seems like a lot of juice for just a half point. So I wasn't even going to mess with that. I saw the first half was -3. I'm just going to go with the -3. But again, this is a game that I wasn't going to get too invested in financially. I just think Alabama in first halves have been hitting, so that's what I'm going with. But I do not mind the Texas full game play or the money line play because of how the game was last year, where Texas came back. The game was pretty much close all game, and then they came back and hit that game-winning field goal or something crazy. Yeah. I don't know exactly. It's kind of tough to remember this far ago, but I'm going with Alabama first half, and that's what I got.
Yeah, no, I like that too. It's gonna be a good game. Obviously, everyone's gonna be watching it, so it's one you might as well put a little juice on. You're watching it anyway.
Yeah, of course. It's the week. You got to watch it.
Yeah. And then my other one big college play of the weekend, obviously, is gonna be Tulane. I'm gonna take them +7 against Ole Miss.
Ride the wave, baby. Ride the wave.
Again, this is the probably in my Tulane fandom, probably the most nervous I've been. I'm more nervous for this one than I even was for the USC game, to be honest.
This one is one to be nervous about. I mean,
because it's two teams in the South. There's going to be a lot. It's not a rivalry, but it's still those people in the South are fucking nuts. And Tulane football, since I've been following them, they're starting to get nuts, just like all the rest of them. And this is everything I've heard, this is like by far their biggest opponent they've ever hosted at home. That stadium is going to be electric. And Ole Miss, they're good. I like Ole Miss, but I have to stick with the Cover Kings. 11-1 last year. They covered no problem. Their offense looked awesome last week. Michael Pratt was just slinging that thing all over, and he can run. He's a warrior. He like hurt his leg. He's like, fuck it, I'll just keep playing. They're up like 20. They were like, no, just
yeah, exactly. No, I totally hear you there. Tulane's a play of mine too. I saw him at 7.5. I took it at 7.5. It's a home game. They're definitely getting up for this one. Don't get me wrong. Ole Miss is a pretty solid team. Jackson Dart's a pretty solid quarterback. They're definitely not going to roll over in this one. But again, it's 7.5 points. It's a home game for Tulane. Tulane has been very good to us. I don't feel the need to fade them in this game. It's a huge game, and they're at home. And do not be surprised if they win on a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to put. I'm probably going to put 2 units on +7 on the spread because they're my guys. They've got me this far. I'll probably put a unit on the money line just because I can't remember what the odds were, but they were good. They're decent.
Probably like 250 to 300 at a.
Yeah, it's good. So I mean, if that hits, I mean, yeah. I'm making money. So I love that. Like I said, that's my biggest play. I'm obviously going to have a ton more once we get closer, especially tomorrow morning. That's kind of when I start dialing it in, figuring it out. But
yeah,
what do you got for college
we
tomorrow?
Touched on those: Nebraska, Tulane, Alabama. I got 3 other plays. 2 of them are tonight, actually, in the same game. But sticking to the Saturday slate, I am and it might be a little trappy. But I just like how this team has been playing football. I know they haven't played that many really good, 2 good teams. They haven't been, worth a damn really. But I'm going with Notre Dame. I think they're the better football team here. I know they're at NC State. I bought it. This one I did buy. It was at 7.5. I bought it to 7 because it was only -120. So I took that. I think Notre Dame they have the better defense. They have the better O-line. They have the better quarterback. I'm just going with Notre Dame here. They have yet to surrender a touchdown this year. I'm going with them -7. It is a little trappy. There's a good amount of money on Notre Dame, which I do not love. But at -7, it's a football number. I'm just sticking with that play. I can see them winning by 2 touchdowns fairly easily. Yeah. So I'm just going Notre Dame -7. Again, just 1 play or 1 unit play here. So I don't want to necessarily get too financially invested in it, but I do like Notre Dame. I just think they're the better football team, and I think those teams will win by more than a touchdown in a 4-quarter game. So I am going Notre Dame -7 with that one. I don't know if you played anything in that Notre Dame NC State game, but
I was looking at it and I was leaning the same way you were. Yeah. If I was gonna take anything, I'm taking Notre Dame, and I probably will end up taking Notre Dame because NC State, I don't know, there's always hype around them, and they never fully live up to the hype. And Notre Dame, everyone kind of shits on them, but they looked pretty good. They've looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I like them. That's probably the way I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And the only I forgot you were talking about tonight. I took Kansas money line tonight.
Okay.
So, I don't know where you were leaning on the game tonight.
I mean, we are on opposite sides, but I don't mind. I don't mind the money line tonight. The only reason I went Illinois +4 was 1, I saw it get up to 4 when it was at 3. I like 4 a lot better than 3. I think they looked not very good week 1 at home against Toledo. So I think this is like a good, nice little bounce back spot. So again, I know Kansas is very good, and that's why, especially on offense, they're very good. That's why I'm taking the over 57 as well. I got 2 plays, Illinois +4, and then the Illinois Kansas over 57. Again, I could totally see Kansas winning this football game by a field goal, and maybe even a touchdown or 2 touchdowns. I just
Mhm.
hope I can get a middle ground where if Illinois doesn't cover the 4, at least the over hits and I just wash on the game. That was kind of my mindset. I think a lot of points are going to be scored in this one. Illinois doesn't have the same defense as they did last year. So I am just thinking, I believe they won 30-28 last week, which is, 58 points there. I think there'll be points again. So I'm going with the over 57 and the +4, and hopefully, worst case, that just it goes 1-1 and it's no blood.
Yeah, I like that over.
Yeah,
I do. I didn't bet. I'm doing it right now because the game starts in like 10 minutes or 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of that over. I know the Kansas offense can really ball out, and they have that quarterback Daniels, who's very
Jalen Daniels. He didn't play week 1, but he's back today.
No, but he's back, and I just think there'll be plenty of points to go around. And even watching Illinois last week, they had a little bit of a down game, but I still think that their offense is able to put up points. Their quarterback Altmaier didn't look that bad. He actually played pretty well. So again, I think both offenses are going to be able to do some work here. And 57 points is a lot different in college than it is the NFL, right?
Oh yes,
a ton different. So I like taking those overs, big plays. I think there'll be a few of them tonight. I would probably lean more on the Kansas side to the Illinois side as far as those big plays for big yards, but I am going with that over 57 and then Illinois +4. Hopefully, I mean, it's operation go 1-1 for sure. And then if you can go 2-0, it's just a huge bonus. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I like Illinois just because I didn't think they played very well, and I think this is a nice little bounce back for them. But I don't mind your Kansas money line at all, really.
Yeah, I was just thinking Kansas. Jalen Daniels is back. Little value in it.
What did you have to pay for that? 165 or I thought I saw it was as low as like 140, and then it might have jumped to like 170. But regardless, I mean, I like it either way. That's a game that I don't mind paying the juice.
150.
Okay,
yeah. So it's not like you're.
It's not like you're betting -330 on like a 11-point spread, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun game. It's the kind of the big game tonight. I mean, so it's one of those. Everyone's going to be tuning in, kind of paying attention to that one. So it's again, you might as well throw a little juice on it.
Correct.
But yeah, this is going to be another fantastic weekend. I cannot wait. Like I said, starting tonight. I love the Friday night college.
They're fantastic. Can we get a Friday night game every week? Do they typically do that, or
I don't know. I know like they have like once we get into like the thick of it. I know they got MAC on like Thursdays,
which is
great.
It's a bettor's dream. I think it's like Wednesday and Thursday nights, or Tuesday and Wednesday nights, or something. Fantastic. I mean, it is awesome. But I just don't remember there being a bunch of Friday night games. Not talking like bowl season, like just Friday night games in general during the middle of the season. I wish there was more because it's like a total, get ready for Saturday kind of full slate. We get a little taste of it Friday night. I love them. I really hope that and I haven't even looked at the next few weeks on if there's a Friday game, but at least like one decent Friday night game. I know there's 4 tonight, but 3 of them are pretty much shit. So really one decent Friday night game. I'd love to have that every week. I don't know if that is going to be the case moving forward, especially in that like, middle parts of the season. But it's great. It's something, it's not baseball. It's great.
Yeah. And as long like these 2 teams are perfect, get 2 not so great teams from like some of the Power 5 conferences, like the Big 12 and the Big 10, have them play where they got some decent players. Everyone knows kind of who those guys are. Because as long as it's not like college basketball where you can have Iona and Northern Iowa playing.
Right.
It's like I'm
Completely
still going to put some juice on this thing, but it's like because if it was in this game, if it was like Mercer and Howard,
right.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm not going to.
That's one where it's like maybe I'll see who's playing on some baseball or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a game where it's definitely enticing enough to not only watch it, but also have a bet or two on it. It's a good football game. I'm excited for it, and the fact it's on a Friday night is awesome. And it adds another night where obviously NFL you got Thursday nights, you got Sunday nights, you got Monday nights. And if we could get a college game on Friday nights and Saturday nights,
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Especially for like, because I don't think they do it. Like, I think the thought is like, because a lot of people, high school football's on Friday. So like a lot of people are going to those games. So they're not going to tune into the games, but it's like, I'm not going to a lot of people are going to high school football games.
You won't find me. And, and not to mention, I just can't bet on them. So not only am I not going, but I can't bet on those games unless I find some Stubby 4 rows behind me that say, you want to take a money?
You want some action?
You want some action? And I raised my hand very high. But no, I'm with you there. I'm not going to go. I'm 25. I'm not going to a college or a high school football game. Not even my alma mater. I'm just not going to do it.
No.
And so, that's just what it is. So,
that's that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Well, cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks
Hold
for
on. We got one comment from the City Life Project. Boys, top underdogs on UFC 293.
Oh, here we go. This is a Sammy Stats question.
We came to the right place.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you could say a huge underdog in the main card, but let me just get the card pulled up here.
Hopefully, there's some cool guys playing. Like again, Sammy, hit me with some cool guy names like the Korean Zombie.
Right.
There's another one you guys brought up that was cool. I couldn't remember, but
I actually have my favorite underdog. This card's a little wide, if you haven't noticed.
Where are they at this weekend?
I couldn't even tell you.
I'm gonna guess like
it's 293. I would assume it's
Germany.
Back to America.
Oh, America. That's America.
Strickland's plus 460. I wouldn't touch it. I just wouldn't touch it. I think Izzy's gonna chew this guy up. If anything, I like the under 4.5. He says it's in Australia. Okay. Izzy.
All right, mate.
Izzy at minus 650. I'm not going to touch, but I'm also not touching Strickland at plus 500. I'd rather play the under if there's a knockout. I'm a fan of the under there. I think my favorite underdog on the card is probably Tuivasa, plus 200. I know Volkov's pretty solid, but Tuivasa brings all this energy that I really enjoy. He does these like back flips or like front flips when he wins, and it's hilarious.
That's cool.
He also does these shoeies. It's fantastic.
What was the other guy's name?
His
sounded like a villain.
Tuivasa?
No, that guy sounds cool. What about who was he playing? Volkov or something?
Oh yeah, Alexander Volkov.
He sounds like a fucking mean son of a bitch.
Yeah, probably fighting bears and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean that's really all I have. If I was to play a favorite, Carlos Alberg should just smoke Dawoon Jung. He's minus 290 though, so that's it's tough to lay that money. It's a pretty solid card. There's enough juice in some of those underdogs to really enjoy it. But really, I don't have a ton of money going around, especially on this card. It's really tough too because it's kind of in the middle of this Saturday college football slate where I'm so invested in some of these college football games that I just don't even think about it. But to your point, I think Tuivasa at plus 200 is really good value. I don't know if I have anything with Tafa and Lane. Lane plus 180 is not a bad bet in any world. But again, I don't think I'm going to play that game or that fight. I don't really like that fight. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I have. I don't know if that answered some of your questions at all. I don't think I'm going to put together a parlay. I like straight betting these fights. But if I was to pick an underdog, Tuivasa plus 200 seems like a really good number, especially in this spot. He's in his home country. So that's pretty much what I would go. I'd lean that under 4.5 in the main card too, the main event. But other than that, I don't have a ton for you on this card. Typically, on some of the other cards, I would have a whole slate for you. But for this one, it's not as big, and I haven't even placed anything yet. But definitely the Tuivasa and the under 4.5. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. Yeah, if you're watching, hit us with those comments, questions. If you hate our picks, if you love our picks, we'd love to hear it. I mean, we need all the help we can get. No one's awesome at this. Like I said, everyone shoots to win like 60%. So if you've got a hot lead that we want, we want it. Just kind of like hit it. We want it. So, and then Sammy Stats, he's the best UFC guy I know.
I love UFC.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like you said, you're looking for underdogs. You don't have no fucking Korean zombie to bet on. I ain't betting it. So
Tuivasa plus 200. I love.
He sounds like he'd be related to like Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad little comparison.
Is he from like the what are those islands called? Not Hawaii, but like I can't remember.
I can't either.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Samoa. Yeah, Samoa.
Yeah.
Samoa.
Yeah. Samoa. Like, well, I think the country's called.
That's
Samoa.
what they are. They're
Samoan.
But that's not the country. I don't know what. That's like. Yeah, I don't.
Isn't it Samoa?
Maybe.
I don't know. Drop something in the comments here. Like,
yeah, geography was really never my cup of tea.
No, especially way out there. There's like a billion little islands that no one ever can really see. But then like fantastic athletes come out.
No,
it's awesome.
100%. Yeah, no, we'll on some bigger cards. I will definitely have a whole lot more picks and rundowns, especially UFC. I'd probably watch and handicap UFC like third. Like it's probably like golf, football, UFC, but I'm always tuning into UFC. So I love the questions. Thank you, the City Life Project. That is unreal. Love the UFC comments there. It's such a fun sport. Renz, when I get another Korean zombie, I will let you know. Please. Another guy that's like all that, I will let you know.
Yes. I need a guy, and I just need a guy. Like I need a guy to follow, so it like keeps me interested.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you just listed off all those names. I'm sure they're all great. I don't know what the fuck any of these guys you're talking about.
No, I hear you.
I tell you, and I watched that Korean zombie fight, and I watched a couple fights before, and on the card, and it was electric. It was great. I mean, I like watching
you on a full card, especially. There's a couple really good pay-per-view cards in the not so distant future. I gotta get you sitting down and watching all these fights are absolutely electric. I mean, there's nothing. I can't think of a lot that's better than two guys that are stepping into this ring, and it's like, I know you want to kill me, and I want to kill you.
Yeah.
So let's do this thing.
And we're gonna watch and make some money off of it.
That's
Please.
Right. That's and our friends over at Underdog have some terrific UFC contests that you can go in. I know you can take like higher or lower than significant strikes, takedowns, finishes. It's terrific.
Yeah, no, I love it. And like I said, we talked about earlier, go over to Underdog, use code 10K. Excuse me, match your deposit up to $100. Come back here, listen to Sammy Stats. I'm going to listen to his advice, and we're gonna go make some money on the Underdog Fantasy app. I can't wait.
That's right.
It's gonna be electric. But awesome. Any other comments? Any other thing else you got over there?
No, that's all I got. NFL, college, a little bit of UFC. That's all I got.
Fuck right. We're in the thick of it now. And then soon, like, we were kind of talking about it like a couple weeks ago. MLB playoffs are going to be starting soon. Oh. I love the MLB playoffs. Twins, we're not going to talk about Twins, but like Twins will probably make it. Mm-hmm. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So.
We'll cross over.
Well, cool. Yeah. Well, cool. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy all the action-packed college NFL games. Enjoy it while you can, because in like March, we're going to be like, fuck, what do we bet on? So this is the week. Sit your ass on the couch, grab some beers, enjoy them, because this is what it's all about. So awesome. Well, thank you, Sammy Satz, coming in. Renz. We'll be back next week, probably with a lot more guys. It's tough on a Friday. Everyone's got shit going on. Yep. So, but awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next week.